Morning park runners, mid-September and it is dark in the morning now, start of autumn coming on, so setting off in the dark to get to park runs. This morning I'm off to Redcar for their park run, which is held in Locke Park, and coincidentally Barnsley Park Run is also held in Locke Park. I wonder how many other parks have similar names. There must be a lot across the country. I'll look that up later. So we'll set off now and catch up for the last mile driving into where I park. It's a lovely big car park. Unfortunately all the gates out are closed at the park end, so I'm just going to have to walk back through the entrance and then back along the road, but it's only 50 metres out and 50 metres back, that's all. So I'm just going to walk out to the car park, then double back, just take the right here, and the park is at the traffic lights just down here. This is a Locke Park just here. So I'm at Redcar parkrun today for event 565 and it's the 14th of September 2024. First event here was the 28th of April 2012 and they had 91 finishers. The average 143 finishers, but last week were 189 and the average finish time is 29:17. Record attendance 345. That was event 500 on the 20th of May 2023. Lowest attendance is 36. That was on event 38 on the 26th of January 2013. The records here, the male record is 14:59 and the female record 17 minutes 18. My stats is my 344th park run and 191st location today. The postcode I used was TS101EZ and that took me straight into Redcar and Cleveland College. There are other bits of parking around, but that's a nice big car park in there and only a short walk. It says there's a cafe in the park, I think, and toilets are at the entrance from Corporation Road. The course is generally flat, 3 laps. It's got a short 80-metre section to the finish after you've done 3 laps. So the start is just over there, and just about 50 metres away, this porter cabin next to this building, on just to the right of these 2 buildings, that's the toilets in there. So when I came past on the road, we passed this entrance there that says welcome to Locke Park, and just down here you can see this is where all the volunteers meet. I did event setup today, went round and put all the cones out and tapes and things like that, or helped with that. If you want to volunteer, you can email redcar@parkrun.com. Like most park runs, always looking for more volunteers every week.
My pleasure to welcome you here today to Redcar parkrun. Do we have any real first timers? Never done a parkrun in your life? No. Have you got your barcodes with you? Lovely. You don't need them till the end. Can I ask you, when you cross the finish line, can you please stay in the same order that you cross the line? You'll be given a numbered token. Go forward with that. Have your barcode read. Have your numbered token read. Please leave the token here. Not a souvenir. There'll be a quality street box on the floor. You drop it in there.
So a 3-lap course, to keep it right course please. When you go through the finish, come up to
So as this is a 3-lap course, trying to remember set off slow for the first lap and push for the second and give it everything for the 3rd lap. So here we go, we're off for the start of the first lap. Lovely flat course, all on tarmac paths. Bit of wind today, but not too bad. Just going to do my bit where I look behind to see who's behind, where I lift the camera up. I'm actually surprised at this point. I thought there would have been, looking at last week's results and previous weeks, I thought there would have been quite a lot of other runners in front of me at this stage. Expecting maybe a top 20 finish, looking at other runs. There's a few twists and turns on this course as well. Here's the first of them. But like I said, all on nice tarmac paths, so it's not too bad. It's not wet today either, so it wasn't slippy or anything like that. Just trying to take it steady for this first lap. Feeling really good. Thank you. I was just running back along the back of the park against the road now to the other end of the park. At the point where we turn left in a few seconds over that bridge. There's another bridge on the course which has bollards in the middle of it, so got to remember to take care and look out for those. Yeah, so this is where we turn left, heading back into we've run the length of the park now, and then coming up down here there's another one of these sharp turns. You just lose a little bit of pace on these turns, but not too much. Here we go, right turn here, and a short section, a left, short section, then a left again, and then back along. Just having a quick look there just to see if I can see anyone behind at all, and whether there's a load of people behind me, but it's no one there at the moment. I'm quite surprised, like I say. I thought I would have been in 15, 16, 17, somewhere like that at this point. Maybe the faster runners have not turned up this week. Oh, 90-degree bend there, and another one coming up here. I sometimes find it hard to keep my pace going, especially when you do U-turns and these sorts of turns as well, but it seems the guy who's in front seems to be keeping a steady distance to him now, so I'm going to just see if I can keep with him, see how it goes. Had a couple of other people come past me now, drop down a few positions, so maybe they were boxed in at the start, something like that, because there are a lot of runners here, and the paths, although they're not narrow, as people spread out wide, it can take a while to pass people sometimes. So again here we've got another two tight turns here. That's the first, and it's now probably a couple of 100 metres back to the start, something like that, or maybe 100 metres back to the start. Still feel pretty good, taking this first lap fairly easy, just trying to maintain this nice pace. We're just coming up now to the second bridge. This is the one with the bollard in the middle of it, coming on and off the bridge. Just got to, if it's following someone, just take care there. And then we're almost back at where we started here. This is the coffee shop on the right. And that's it, that's the first lap done, and on to the second lap. So now I'm going to try and, I've sort of slowly built my pace up on here. I'm going to try and maintain this pace now, see if I can keep it going. Feel the breeze at this point along here. There is some protection around the course, but it's actually quite mild as well today, so it does feel warm. In fact, you can see the trees blowing there. It's a bit more than a breeze actually at this point. That's the finish to the left after 3 laps. I missed that on the first lap. I was supposed to be looking out for that to see how far it was past the start, but it's not too far. Taking a left turn here. This is the path that runs the length of the park, heading back in the opposite direction to where we started. I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer to this guy in front, but I'm starting to feel tired now. I'm at my pace. If the finish was coming up, yeah, I could have a bit of a sprint finish left in me, but there's still a good lap and 3/4 to go, so just trying to maintain this pace now and see if I can stay with this guy. Thank you. I feel like I'm getting slowly closer to him, but let's see how it goes. I've got a few tight turns. I do seem to sometimes lose a bit of distance to people on the tight turns sometimes. I lose my pace a little bit. Thank you, tail walker and park walkers. That's the tail walker and park walker. Definitely closer to this guy now as we thank you. Into the second half of the second lap. I only feel like my pace has gradually caught him up. I don't feel like I'm catching him up where I can just go past and push, but he can certainly hear me now. As I said, this is a flat course. There's the slightest of undulation just there, but you're only talking a foot maximum incline maybe, I would have thought. I've got close to this guy, but still we're running very similar pace. I'm sort of now starting to feel quite tired. I can feel it in my legs. I'm okay breathing wise, I can get the oxygen in, but just my legs are starting to feel a little bit heavy now. I actually watched someone else's video, and when I got to this point I had a note of their time and their finish time they'd done, and I reckon it's about 2 minutes to the finish from that corner. So in my mind that's the point where I was going to push on, but as I often find each week, I get to that point and then my brain overrides me and says there's nothing left to push with. So I just seem to be able to stay with this guy, don't seem to be able to make any progress anymore now. we're just coming up to the end of the second lap. Thank you. One more lap to go, and then maybe 80, 100 metres from here to actually to the finish after you've done the third lap. Definitely close to this guy at this point. Not sure if he's tiring or whether I've just picked my pace up a tiny little bit. And this is the left turn where the finish will be when we come back past here next time. Thank you. We've both picked up our pace a little bit. He's now starting to just get away from me a little bit, and I don't feel as though I've got anything left on this lap now. Just feel like I'm hanging on now until the 5k's over. Definitely opened a bit of a gap now. I haven't got anything left to try and push to hold on to the back of him. I just can't close that gap back down again. I can hear someone else behind me as well now coming up. I think it's the first lady behind me when I looked back briefly. And on this bit here, this is where he's opened up the gap a little bit more again as well. Maybe he's just pushing on. I don't think my pace has slowed. Yeah, I can hear someone behind me now. I'm just looking with peripheral vision just to see who it is, and it looks like it's the First Lady just behind me. I just haven't got anything left now to keep up with this guy, but there's not long to go. I think all three of us have picked up our pace a little bit. when I get to this corner down here, I reckon there's about 2 minutes to the finish. In my mind, this is where I was going to try and push hard from this corner, but I am really tired now. My legs feel heavy. I feel like I'm on the limit of my breathing as well. I can hear the first lady, she's even closer, really close behind me now. It's a little bit tricky to pass anyone just here because we're passing the other park runners, all keeping to the right as they were asked. That's really good, makes it really easy to get past. So I looked at my watch there, quick look, 18:31 it was, so that would suggest about 20.5 minutes to the finish. But can I push and improve on that? It's right on my shoulder. Yeah, there she is. She's coming past now any second. The camera doesn't pick it up, it's not got a wide vision on it. I just haven't got anything left at all in my legs to push at this point. I'm trying my absolute best. Thought she would have been passed by now, but here she comes, very close. Nearly got the post there as well. I just haven't got anything left to stay with her as well. That's great running by her. So this is where the start was. That's 3 laps done and about 80 metres now to the finish. To be honest, I'm normally happy anything under 21 minutes. I do like my finish time to start with 20 minutes if possible. I've had one sub 20 this year, but I seem to be 5 or 6, 7 seconds away on my other best times. Still can't quite remember where the turn is into the finish, but I know it's not far along here. I just don't have anything left to try and close that gap down at all. Quick look at my watch. I was a bit disappointed there. It was about 20 minutes, 15 seconds, something like that, I think it was. Now here's the turn in, and it's only short then. Just trying to give it the last little bit now to the line, see how it goes. And that's it done. 9th place, 21 minutes, 20 minutes, 21 seconds on my watch.
Well done.
Thank you, thanks for volunteering.
You're welcome. Morning.
Just put it in a minute, I'm just going to record something. Oh. Ninth place today, and about 20 minutes 30. That was hard. Wind was blowing today. It was nice when it was cool, but hard work into the wind. So when you get your token in the finish funnel, can't get out, the barcode scanners at the end, scanning your token as you get to the end of the finish funnel.
Well done, guys. Well done, guys.
Course review, it's a 3-lap course with maybe 100, 150, 200 metres after the start, if you finish on the left after where you started. Nice and flat, all tarmac paths, a couple of bridges, some bollards in the middle of one of the bridges, so you do have to take care unless you're good at leapfrog. Plenty of shelter from the trees. Windy today, but there was some protection, but you could feel the wind in parts. Really nice course, really nice and flat, really enjoyed it today. So the coffee shop is just by the start, just here. Let's get a drink, have a chat with a few people. It's back to spoke to quite a few before the start. Hopefully I'll see them in here.